I did. I went. I was trying to see who's paying attention, and so far I've been caught. It's, yeah. You know, it's great with the film when you're getting footage, just using 2 different jackets, 3 different jackets. It allows you to now you get a little more variety on the when we turn this into reels and stuff like that. Okay, cool. Let's crank it out. How was the last session?
Awesome.
Was it awesome?
Yes, sir.
Does Scott still have it?
Oh, he's got it.
Yeah, that's a good close, right?
Yeah.
You know, some people might say that it's an unconscious close before you then do your next close, right? Because by running a close, people have to close themselves to be able to close. Are you closed on that? Gotcha. So too much. All right, cool. So we covered a couple things. Now, how many of you guys want this to succeed? Yeah? Okay, cool. Watch. I'm going to play a little game with you. So I had a mentor say, you know, there's one word that changes everything. So write this down along with me, like just in a note. There's nothing, you're not going to share this with anybody else, right? But think about like goal, right? Like here's goal. And I'd like, whatever the goal is for you, right? So like, let's say you want to double the business, triple the business, quadruple the business. And all I want you to do is say to yourself inside your head, I'd like to accomplish, insert your goal. Notice how that feels in the body, okay? Just notice it, right? And then I want you to write, I want to, and then say your goal inside your head, right? Double our clinic. Like I want to do more dinners. It'd be nice, that's another one you could put there. It'd be nice to get us to, you know, one a week, two every week. It'd be great to do $500,000 a month. And then my mentor said, what happens when you say to yourself, I'm serious about making this goal happen. I'm serious about it. No, I'm serious about it. See the difference? I'd like to have it happen. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. There's a priority shift that happens in your whole neurology, right? Right? Now, not to use language in a bad way, but it's like, what happens if you say, I'm dead serious about X happening by April 28th or sooner? And so the reason is that nothing happens without you being serious about making it happen. It just doesn't. Like I'd like to haves, nice to haves, want to haves, kind of like to do's, never happen. They just never really do happen. But a whole lot happens when you get dead serious about making the most important thing happen. Does that make sense? Like all this, when Scott talked a little about 80-20 rule, it's like 20% that makes the 80% difference. Well, what's in that 20%? Well, I'd like to make this happen. It'll never get in your top 20% because you won't make the time for it. Brian Tracy, who's a great mentor of mine, and the famous Brian Tracy, would always say that soft time always gets pushed out of the way of hard time. And what he meant by that was if you don't have time scheduled for your kids, you're never going to spend time with them because something is going to push, right? And if you don't have time scheduled for your physical fitness, you'll never get done. If you don't have time scheduled for this. So Neurology check is just by simply putting all this on the calendar now forces a quick little funny story. 10 years ago, I did the Navy SEAL version, the civilian version of the Navy SEAL Hell Week through SEAL Fit with Kokoro Camp. It's 52 hours, all that stuff, right? So the reason I did it, people always ask me, well, why would you do that? I'm like, I'll be honest, it scared the shit out of me. That's why I had to do it. It just terrified me. And it never went, for 3 years, it just wouldn't go away. It just terrified me. And it bothered me. Why do you think it bothered me?
You didn't make up your mind.
Matt said I didn't think I could do it.
Does it feel fun though?
Well, all of it, right? But the question do I have what it takes to do it? Do I have what it takes to do it, right? Now, here's what's really funny. This is why I'm telling you a story. So that scared the crap out of me. So then it wouldn't go away. So now I'm like, God, I got to figure out, I got to do it. So the first time I brought this up to my wife, she was pregnant with our twins. Just for all the dads out there, or soon-to-be dads, or sometime you'll be a dad, do not ask your wife to go on a 52 Navy SEAL Hell Week overnight thing when she's pregnant with twins in the first trimester. She's like, what's wrong with our life that you want to go kill yourself and do this crap? Okay, sorry. Okay, now here's the funny story. I waited until we had the twins, and then we were on a vacation together in Colorado. We were climbing down the mountain, trying to think of where we were at. It was like a ski resort, but it was the summer, so we were all biking and stuff like that. We were climbing down, I had gym shoes on. And I jokingly said, okay, well, I'll have to get my ankles stronger so when I do Kokoro Camp, I'll be able to do it. And so she said from behind me, she goes, babe, if you want to do it, I'll support you. Well, I'm telling you this, I signed up within 10 minutes. We just went right there, boom, signed up. But then something happened in my whole neurology. Because I was so scared to fail, I now structured my whole life around making this a success. And that's the same thought process that we have to take with this. If you're afraid to fail with some of it or taking it to the next level, good. You should be. But that's what makes us so committed to making it a success. Does that make sense? And so I'd like to challenge you in your languaging of don't be soft on yourself. Be like, the standard is the standard because you make it the standard. And this becomes your new normal. And then you just keep up-leveling. Scott and I talked yesterday about, Bill Belichick was hardest on Tom Brady. He was hardest on him in practice. Why? Because if Tom was off, we're in big trouble. And he expected that much, so he was hardest on him. Why? Because he had the capacity and capability of doing it. Does that make sense? So if you can dream it, and it's in your mind, you're like, man, maybe I can't. Do you think I could do that? Then I gotta do it. Like Tony Robbins say, if I don't, not sure if I can, then I must do it, and it just changes your neurology. Okay. So segueing to the next step. So we ended up right around here where we get the top of funnel, and then it starts falling to the next level, which is the Dunbar's concept. There's only so many people in human beings' lives that they trust, like family. And we want to move into their world where we're just not like a transactional relationship, but we're somebody that can go from into this extended trusted advisors right here, the 25 to 100, okay? And the way we do that is we have to master what Google has just come out with over the last year, saying that it's called 7-11-4. Say that with me, 7-11-4. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was horrible instructions because I was like, say it all with me, and then we have really smart people who did the whole thing, and then we have other people who are like 7, waiting, good. 7-11-4. 7 hours. It requires 7 hours of content or consuming your materials for people to know you enough, like you enough, trust you enough in order for them to make it super easy to exchange a lot of money with you. Okay. 11 is the amount of touches and touch points that must happen. Now, there's always exceptions to the rules, right, guys? But we're not talking about that. We're talking about time collapsing, the speed at which they first engage with us to the point which they buy. And the workshop is one of the core elements of it. And then 4 different locations. So all of a sudden, they see a postcard. They go to Google. They click there. I've asked a bunch of you, are you doing any local search ads? Are you doing any Google PPC for your personal brand? And many of you have told me no. That is such low-hanging fruit because they're searching for you to learn more about you. If you're not there, they may end up clicking on someone else's ecosystem, and now they might get lost in their algorithm and go there instead. So you really want to capture that. And I can talk more about that when we do our wrap-up and stuff like that. 4 different locations. So super important to be omnipresent. What's omnipresent? I see you everywhere I go, right? I click on an ad. I get a postcard in the mail. I see you on Facebook. I see you in my email. I saw you on Instagram. I saw you on YouTube. Very, very important, very easy to do, especially with technology nowadays. And so we want to stack assets and use AI follow-up automations to make this super easy for you. I'm not going to go too in-depth on this. This is something that takes a little more time. But one of my favorite things to do is say, what's your level 10 dream patient? I talked briefly about this earlier. And then this is where you start optimizing, like where are they coming from? Like where's your lead source? Jeff and Cash are going to be testing online leads, and they're also doing postcards. And I said to them, it's going to be so great to see like the quality difference of them and just the value per patient, because it'll just tell you where to spend more money, right? Right. And then the revenue per patient, and then here's why I do this. One of the things that we do, like say in the boardroom, is that we start looking at these patients. Well, why? Okay, I'm going to pause. This is very good stuff. The reason why you pick your dream patient, and if we have all this time together, I'd say, okay, cool. Here's how I would describe them. You love treating them. They're easy lay down sales because they went through your flow, whatever your flow is, like came to our workshop. They referred people. Like you create, like who's our dream? They spent 30-something thousand with us, right? Multi-joints, easy yeses, love what you're doing, didn't know you exist until you invited them, and they're raving about you. And now they're referring to, so revenue pathway, what were all the product services they person purchased. And so now you start looking at, and they also did our supplements, and they did our weight loss clinic, and they're doing our peptides. And now they come in for IVs. That is our dream person. And so we start building our messaging to attract that type of person, because we only need an increase. Like if that's only 10% of your patient base, if you triple that part of your base, this is like great advice for you right now. Like this is speaking to you, because all of us, but especially like if you're trying to, instead of trying to get Medicare patients to spend 30 grand, how do we just build out a profit center that does it for us? You know what I mean? Cool. Now this is one of my clients, Jeff Hampton. He's an attorney, came to me. He does short-term rental, asset protection, came to me, came to the house. But here's why I wanted to share this with you. Jeff blew up his criminal law. He has multiple firms. His criminal law firm grew by $2 million last year, directly attributed to him posting videos on YouTube. If that should not punch you in the face and say, I need to be posting on YouTube, something, I don't know what will. Like, think about this. People are asking questions on YouTube right now in your area. And I would bet $1,000 that there's no good quality competition that is like taking this serious. What are all the questions of our prospects? Let us be the leaders of it. And if there were 3 people just like you in your area, that's only, the only way you'd become irrelevant is if there was like 20, like actively taking YouTube serious. They're not going to. It's just they're not. They're going to try to cheat it with AI. And I think what's going to happen in the next 3 years is there's just going to be like the Googles and the YouTubes. AI is going to be very relevant, obviously, for content. I think eventually they're just going to be like you could filter by real people versus AI, and it's just going to help you filter. It's going to be like another, like 2 search engines in one. So people are going to want that human connection. It is what it is. But here's what's crazy. And this is not a promise to you, but since stem cells and regenerative medicine, functional medicine, like diabetes, huge category, right? If you like this kind of stuff, guess what? Jeff's making $25,000, $30,000 a month from Google AdSense because of his videos. So, I mean, that could pay a few bills. So it's pretty good stuff, right? So you build out this authority funnel that works for you 24/7. Now, my personal story on this, I have a couple personal stories on this, but this was my Keegan. Keegan she got COVID, and she seemed fine, came back, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, she couldn't get off the couch. And she looked like she was hungover, concussion syndrome, all that stuff. We couldn't figure out what was going on. So she had long COVID before they knew what long COVID was, and they're all morons. I mean, no offense to you medical doctors out there, but 99% of you guys are morons. They're like, oh, maybe we should hydrate her more. I mean, there's so many things like that. It was actually people like you that were on the cutting edge of thinking about ivermectin and all these others. We were just so ahead of, so we spent so much ridiculous money, and she had got Lyme disease, okay? And so our go-to was podcasts. And so content crafted in a way that is just how we decide our people. So this is very, very easy for you. Now, fast forward in story is after 2.5, almost 3 years, there's one thing that gave us a little glimpse and hope, and then we think she got COVID again, and it reignited the Lyme disease. I took her to a prayer service. Took her to a church in Pennsylvania. She was prayed over. From that moment on, no more migraines, no more body aches, no more chronic fatigue, and I don't have a picture of her right now, but she's ripped. She squats more than I do, and she's gonna go play collegiate volleyball next year. So that's my Keegan. She's gonna impact a lot of people. Now segue, it's a hard segue. I'm gonna need a buffer page next time, Scott. These are YouTube videos, right? Now, so Ed, what do I create without having to make everything up? Well, here's something I'll cheat. See how this is 50.2x? You can write this down. We don't guess on YouTube videos. We only do what has already been proven to be viral. Views don't pay the bills, but there are certain videos that have been proven already to get traction on YouTube. So what we do is we create videos that are like those videos. So what are stem cells? On this lady's channel, this 50x tells me and us that compared to all the different videos this lady has posted, this video did 50 times better than anything else there. So look at this. So this one had 58,000 views versus her average of 1,000 views. There's a simple little app called oneof10.com, oneof10.com. It'll go right onto your channel or on your YouTube as an app, and then you could see all the ones that are similar to that, okay? And then so we're gonna continue, so you can follow me here, because watch. This one here, PRP injection versus stem cell injection. How many of you guys can do a video on this at a basic level? You don't have to be perfect. 192,000 views. 78 times better than his other stuff, right? So this would be another one. And look at it, you got a thumbnail. Okay, now here's a couple more, right? Stem cell therapy for joint repair. Does it really work? Isn't that what people are asking, right? Now, here's what's kind of cool about this. If you do an interview or you address this in your presentation, you can just use that clip. Now, I also think you could also set up a simple iPhone if you don't have a tech setup and be like, hey, number one question we get inside our clinic on a daily basis is, does stem cells really help with joint repair? Does it actually work? You see how I just did that? Super simple, just being yourself. And this one was over 100 times. So again, look at that. You could put your name right here. You could just completely take this, put your photo, maybe even just take that. You're thinking like, Ed, but wouldn't they, that's kind of like ripping it off. Well, you are ripping off the concept, but guess what? Go look at your best favorite YouTube videos you like watching, Dan Martell. You guys know who Dan Martell is? Okay, some of you do. But all Dan Martell does is take the top images from other people that are already showing traction, and it's all this. But guess what? The universe of people searching on YouTube is so great. Who cares? You're not bumping into each other. Doesn't matter. The more the merrier. 5 myths about stem cell therapy, chronic pain. What options do we prefer? This is 38 times there. So you're getting, just by getting all this, right? Here's a testimonial. Just by getting this, you now know you're not guessing. You're not being set up for failure, you're being set up for success, okay? These are just a couple, these are AI ads I created. I'm gonna skip through them a little bit. Okay, so this is kind of how I like, Scott wanted me to talk about the interview funnel, okay? This is an interview, book your consult call below here. This would work in conjunction with what you're currently doing. Does that make sense? And I'm just a huge fan of, if I'm using this, when people come in, we ask them the questions that we want to ask them. What is your chief condition that brings you here? Blah, blah, blah. Did you know that stem cells ranges in these dollar amounts, yes or no? I think one of the other questions we asked was like, yes, I have the cash to pay for it. I might need some financing, which then we ask them the credit score question. How soon are you ready to move forward with treatment? Like yesterday, I don't know, I'm still searching. You know, and so those go into different buckets, okay? The reason why this is so important is that most people, when you start doing this, most clinics, when you do any ads at all, most agencies, they're kind of just, they're hoping to get people down in the purchase element. And what Scott's really bringing together is a full system that takes people from awareness, interest, consideration, intent, and then we do comparison to purchase. Do you guys see how that works? So the reason why we do content or different types of events, event workshop, event webinar, event interview, event live ask the doctor anything, which I think is just amazing thing to do, is you're covering every different layer of the patient's journey, which allows you to really truly dominate your ecosystem, okay? And again, this is not like super expensive stuff. We're not like throwing ridiculous budget at it, but all the heavy lifting, pre-selling, pre-education, authority building is done before they ever come into the office. So when our team's here, of course we're gonna get really well trained and do better at our case presentation and do better at all those things. But the fact that we've built credibility prior to them getting there just changes so much of it, right? And so this is obviously I have a couple dental, you guys know why, right? Because I was 14 years in dentistry. I have a couple dental examples, but I'm also gonna bring it back to stem cells, just so we're on the same page. I don't think this hurts you. So this might be, is it possible your dentist can help you sleep better? Well, is it possible stem cells can help me with joint repair? I'm making them aware of the problem and a possible solution instead of surgery, okay? And then I always like phrases like, did you know? Did you know that stem cells are actually available to you and it could help you forego surgery, blah, blah, blah. Are you frustrated with, have you lost hope? All these things, okay? I'm gonna skip. Okay, and the way I look at this is I stack all the different videos and I layer it inside the patient journey. Very strategical. I'm gonna go back up. We cover pain, money, symptoms, qualified versus is this for me or not? Brian, did I cover all of these things with you yesterday in the interview? Yeah, we did, right? Do you think we did it on accident or do you think it was very strategical?
You walked me through it.
We just talked about it. And so what's so great about it is now his video that we created in less than 30 minutes can be chopped up into all of these assets. Like if you're looking at this, you're like, this is a lot of stuff. No, it's not. It's one 30-minute interview where all these questions are asked in it. So good. So good. We're on camera. I shouldn't do this. Well, so Keenan's a great guy. Keenan got like a $40-something thousand case like off of like a $500 ad spend. And within 2.5 months he quit. This is why he quit. His front desk did not want to handle all the phone calls. And they didn't want to follow up with the people. So he tried hiring like, I was like, well, dude, are you serious about making this work? Or would you just like to make it work? So the fear of what your team thinks of you. I go, the problem, you know what you did, Keenan? He totally admits it too, is when times were good, you gave them so much freaking time off every week that they got so used to working just the 3 days a week, no accountability, no standards, and you guys were just pouring in money. And now that we actually have to work a little bit because finance, the rates were higher, you've trained them to not work. Because I said because with AI, just to kind of give you an idea, leads come in, boom, we have missed call text back with AI, we have immediate reach out via AI. So, but here's the deal. Here's what I found out. When I would look at his responses, I'm sure this is why the Tuesday dinners work so well, is that we had so many people Saturday morning texting the office, like trying to get scheduled. And I could only imagine how many cases were being missed. Is that me? I could only imagine how many cases were being missed because nobody was getting back to these people till Tuesday morning, maybe late Monday. Well, they were responding to book right there. You guys know how it is. Husband and wife, they've been considering a big investment. They're like, okay, today's the day. You're off, I'm off. We have time on Saturday to make a decision. We're going to call the place. Nobody. Okay, let's call the next one, just see if they're open. Okay, nobody. We're going to call. Person who picks up gets the Earl, what's going on, dude? I'm like, it must be me. Keep going. Now, carpet bombing this, have you guys ever heard of the term carpet bombing? Okay. Carpet bombing is when we take your geofence of whatever your areas you want, and I don't know which one it is, but I think testing 1, 2. And then what I wanted to point out here is that you literally can just blow up this area with your videos. I was showing you the little micro budgets, $10 a day, $15 a day. You guys should all be spending $30 a day minimum on video views that are specific to all the questions we talked about, okay? And what happens is we can track, and I'll show you, we can track, here's all his different videos, how expensive, how painful, this is a condition-specific video, and we ran videos, so we're able to see 3,326 people watch 25% of his video, 721 people watched 100% of the video. Now, just bear with me a second. These videos are 3 minutes long. So do qualified, interested people with pain or people who are interested in that topic watch a 3-minute video all the way to 100% or unqualified? Qualified. Qualified, right? Here's what's so cool. It only costs us $242 to get 3,200 or 721 people to watch that, right? Now here's the deal. We can run ads only at those people that watched 100%. Is that hyper-targeted or what? So now that Brian's getting all this traction, he's getting his own audience, Brian can now take his videos and now target people who've engaged with him. Now he can go open. Facebook is getting so smart that they know who's in market for these things because these people are clicking on Google, they're clicking on YouTube, So I'd go all in on this stuff. That's what. So this is kind of what it all looks like. I'm going to skip because we're just going to go. So we always go over money. Oh.
Dental implants.
Can you guys hear this or no?
Price, expensive. So I just kind of want to address that in straight on is, let's walk through the different ranges of fees and then what are the options for patients? Because obviously they're out there, they're doing the research and they're looking for a practice they can trust.
Totally. So I'll see a lot of.
So he's from Indianapolis.
Thinking about doing research, I see a lot of ads that have a bunch of crazy prices and things on them. They're kind of ridiculous because most docs usually, you're probably around 5,000, 550, or sorry, 500, 5,500.
Yeah.
For a single tooth replacement. Okay. A lot of patients will think, oh my, I had 30 teeth, 32 teeth, however many, and you've got to do that time.
I'm not gonna go through the whole thing because it's 4 minutes long, but here's why I kept it like, you know how he just kind of is like, he's not super clean on it? Because he is in the suburbs of Indianapolis, super down to earth, a little bit more folksy, and that's how they'd be kind of used to listening to somebody they like. Here's the reality, I wouldn't change you one bit on camera. And the reason is because the way he's talking, frankly, his patients are gonna like that versus like, but if I was sharper, like I could do the pitch better than him, which I start doing it better than him in about a minute. Well, I do, but that's part of the system, right? Because then it's like, well, you know, because I'd be thinking, like, look, is it possible for people to get financing with some of the different things? I've heard they could get it like 72 months out. Oh yeah, then he goes into that. And I'm like, what would be an average installment if they got approved with Care Credit? Like, because he already goes into all the different credits. What would be the average installment? And I'm like, oh, so you kind of could just look at it like a car payment, but it's under $297 a month. And now they have brand new teeth and they could eat the foods they love. I start doing the pitch for them. Okay, so are you going to see the visual? So that's an example of one of the visuals of that. And then we go into pain.
And I was thinking like dental implants.
No, that's not it. Okay, cool. We'll see how, but pain is the other one. I'm terrified. Where do you think I got all these concerns from? Well, Google, because if you type in dental implants, it'll say expensive. And then you go down and it goes dental implants and it goes how painful. That's all people want to know. And then I learned, like with the pain stuff, it was just like, well, no, actually, have you ever gotten your teeth pulled? Oh yeah, or your wisdom teeth pulled? Yeah. Dental implants is not, because it's bone, there's no nerves that we're interrupting. It's actually less painful than getting a tooth pulled. It's counterintuitive, right? So anyhow, we take those belief systems and do that, right?
Hey everybody, it's Ed O'Keefe, and welcome to.
We're gonna move to the next one. Okay, cool. So now let's get into this stuff. So this is stuff that we did with Scott and myself, where we were doing micro reels. Will stem cells help me? Watch full interview. Now these are just two different things. One is Scott on that, and then there's me at a golf course. You know what I mean? And these work, right? And so if you ever considered stem cells, you know, find out how you can qualify. I want to make sure. These are different like images that will come up. Like, can stem cells help me if I'm bone on bone? It's one of the most commonly asked questions we got when we were doing webinars in stem cells. Yeah, you can chime in as much as you want.
So there was the picture of my video, there was a picture of your video.
Yeah.
On the golf course. Which one do you guys think did better? Golf course.
Yeah, I mean, you just crushed it. Yeah, destroyed it. Yeah, 100%.
There's something about like polished video content doesn't do that well. It's like fabricated.
People want real.
Yeah, they want like that selfie video.
Yeah. And then also too, like there's a 3 to 7 minute video. I did another video that was similar to that where I just was horizontal, sitting on like a bench on the golf course though. Like just the setting, this, you know, you want to be more active, you want to get out and do things you always love to do, you know. A big thing that we found was that, you know, you still got it. But your buddies are out playing pickleball, your buddies are out golfing, and you're not. And what if I told you there's actually a solution? You know? And so this is just kind of boom, boom. This is like, these are what your like YouTube channel could start looking like. And these are just examples. Authority assets of your own. You own, these are assets. If 5 myths of stem cell treatment, right? They're gonna click on that. Well, all the myths are the misconceptions they have that are really just objections. You just answer them, you know? What's great about this though, I really wanna stress this point at home, guys. If I said you could spend $100,000 in an investment that'll give you a 30% return year over year, how many of you would do it? Yeah, everyone in the room should have your hands up. You would, right? But here's the reality. There's more risk to that than me saying you should be spending money building out content and investing it into your own personal YouTube channel brand, because that content is going to compound value over time, okay? Here's what I mean by that. I should have an example for this, but like say all these videos, knee pain, what to do when your surgery is the only option, cost of stem cells, all of these things. Here's the thing, those videos, if someone in your area is in market a year from now, and you posted the video, like if Dr. Brian posts that video, guess what's gonna happen? If it's the most relevant video for what that person's searching for, YouTube doesn't care if it's 3 years old. It'll serve it back to them because it's relevant. It's been shown to do that. So you're investing in an asset that's going to work for you over time. So I've already shown you this. Okay, cool. So let's just go through the steps real quick. So 7 assets created in 1 hour. Let me show you exactly how you do it. Number 1, you schedule an interview, right? Tell you exactly how you can have that happen for you. A video interview that sells. One of the best things about doing this, if I like the same thing with the doing your own workshop, it forces you to actually get better at articulating what you do. It just does. The more you do it, the better you're gonna get, okay? Number 2, those are just different settings, right? This was my least favorite setting. Ken's a really nice guy. Ken is in the personal injury space. He wanted to rent out a studio. I was like, dude, we could do it in your living room and it would be better. I purposefully, like when people say like, well, I really, like I had, it's pretty funny. I spoke at a big dental conference and they loved it. They loved the whole concept, right? But one of the staff members was, and I'm not picking on team members, I kind of am. But she was like, well, I don't really like that you had the fireplace in the background. And I'm like, I really don't care what you think. But like that's more casual. That's more real. It's a video podcast. It's supposed to be. Where we did this, I mean, he was so nervous because he was in the studio, and it just felt too infomercial. Like this was in I flew down to Boca Raton, and his buddy was had a house right there. It was really nice. So we just went to his house. Really nice place. It's great. But who cares? Like you could do it right in this corner and just put some flowers behind you and you got a spot, okay? Okay, here's the 7 assets in 1. 7 assets create 1 hour, right? So authority interview created, right? In that timeline, you now have 10 YouTube videos, right? So remember earlier today I said, do you have at least 10 videos on your YouTube channel that answer the questions of your best prospect? And if the answer is no, you need to get them. Sorry, you just got to do it, okay? From that point, we get 24 reels. Now, we use AI, we chop them up, and then AI has a way of saying the way this clip works has a higher degree likelihood of being viral. And so I know if you wanted to hire like a professional like Earl, it's going to cost a lot more than, I just want the AI to like tell me da-da-da-da. And getting it done, getting it up, getting it rolling, getting you omnipresent is more important than being perfect on it. But man, really quickly, you could take this, have it on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok, as well as, and I said X, right? You can have them all those platforms, right? And now that, I don't want to talk about AI SEO because I don't think anyone really knows where that's going to be in the next 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. But now with ChatGPT and all these different elements, I would also say we post to Pinterest as well, because for some reason, ChatGPT is pulling experts from Pinterest. I don't know on what, but they are. And then we take these 24 reels. This is where the magic is. It's very important to understand it. And these 10 videos, and you budget $1 per day to your warm audiences and your small little geographical area, okay? There's a little more science to what I'm teaching right now, but that part is not hard. So for $30 a day, $24 a day, anytime anyone engages with like your assets, your websites, your stuff, whatever, you start popping up like crazy in their ecosystem. It really is manipulating the algorithms to work on your behalf. Now, the biggest frustration, if I was in your, like sitting there, is people like, yeah, you got to create content. Like Gary Vee, like, you got to create content. Then you got to post it every day, 400 million gajillion times a day. You're in the bathroom, videotape yourself. Go to the, you're with your wife, videotape it. All that. Like, that's not easy to do. but you can pay $1 a day, $3 a day per video, and you get that same effect, right? So really, really powerful. Now, I think you should all have a book. You should take your interview, we just transcribe it, 20 pages long, have AI clean it up. We can help you with this, obviously, and nobody will ever read it, but you're gonna be considered an author. When you show up at your things, you're gonna be like, I wrote this book, like my injury survival guide, like how to get out of pain without surgery, whatever that might look like, you're now an author. And by the way, you could take this, send it to all the local press, get them interviewed. Who cares if anybody watches your interview or does anything? Who cares? You take that video, now you put $1 a day behind it. See how this starts snowballing? Now you could take $1 a day from a third-party NBC affiliate or something like that, but you run it through your own Facebook, and the same people who engage with your thing now see the link to the other article of a third-party authority talking about you. I mean, that's from the ecosystem. That's some celebrity branding, right, Scott? 10 articles. We post 10 articles to LinkedIn. We make them LinkedIn friendly because LinkedIn, it just likes the articles. And then your micro event on autopilot. 5 things you need to know about stem cells before you ever choose a provider or something like that. Kind of like the advocate role. Before you ever get surgery, what you need to know about stem cells, PRP, and whatever, what is best for you, and then that's a whole advocate webinar is what that is. And then this is something I know most of you aren't doing. There's no judgment behind my tone at all, seriously, is that this is more of a real digging your well before you're thirsty mentality is schedule a quarterly center of influence something with other professionals that you'd like to be top of mind awareness with. Professionals, business owners, whatever. And it might just be as simple as, hey guys, I'm buying everybody dinner. I'll tell you what's working in our business. Maybe you guys can steal. And you could just take what we're teaching you as part of the everything and go from there, okay? Okay, cool. So now we've covered a lot today. Before I go into, I have a couple more things I want to cover. Scott or anybody, is there any questions that you guys have about the stuff that I've already covered? Okay? Now, how many would agree that this has been like totally profound, like pretty cool stuff? I mean, you could just nod your head, or you don't have to raise your hand. No, I got you. No, but this is cutting edge. This is the next big things that are happening now. Just is, right? And so let's just, Scott, if you want, Scott, you can grab a mic too. Why freedom comes from leverage. One of many is the way to getting better patience, cash flow, and time. And these are the only things you really need to do. A perfect presentation, a way to fill your events, team train and align. And then you got to get the propaganda system, right? So now, with your permission, what I'd like to do is go over, if you want to work closer with us, with the boardroom and the ongoing trainings, like we just need like 7 minutes to kind of tell you what that looks like, and then happy to answer questions on the break. Currently, I believe, are you guys the only 2 actual members active right now? Brian. Jeff and Brian, those 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, sorry, Cash. All 3 of you, awesome. So let me just go through this real quick. So your only decision is, do I do all this on your own or leverage the time, effort, energy that Dr. Scott has put into these time frames in order to time collapse it, right? And you get the benefit of compounding wisdom, multiply testing of all of Dr. Scott's clients. I always like to say the multiply testing is powerful because how many of you heard like 3 or 4 different things, just minimally 3 things today of what people are doing? I mean, these guys just started right away. We are getting profound results, crazy new cost per leads, and you're getting it in a very short amount of time. So I spoke to Scott, was it about 7 months ago? 6 months?
More than that, I think.
Well, we talked about, I said, well, why aren't you doing this with chiros and functional medicine docs, wellness clinics, podiatrists that want to grow their stem cell? I mean, you've done that. I kind of said that this morning. And so what we created was Regen Profits Boardroom and Alliance, an elite group of regenerative medicine clinics committed to growing and experience more freedom without the stress. And let me cover what you get as part of it, what these guys received. Number one, you get the 8-figure Regen Profits marketing system and licensing rights. What do we mean by that? What I mean by that is that when you become a member, you get the entire PowerPoint, line by line, word by word, and you have that for your own presentations. You also get licensing rights to the same exact ads that we are using to get $3 Facebook leads. That's rare. I would set up your expectations to be getting $10 to $20 per leads, because the math still works at an extraordinarily level, even at that dollar amount. And things will fluctuate over time. So you don't want to join it and be like, where's my $3 lead? Yo. You know. Anyhow, you get access to that, and you also, and I mean, the other thing I would say is the video that I created on the golf course. You can use it. It doesn't talk about a specific doctor's name. I talk about my friend who's a doctor is hosting a free webinar about something about stem cells, and it crushed. It was great. So you get everything like that. As we get more and more into adding more PowerPoints on peptides, functional medicine, other ailments as we get going, you would obviously have full permission to use that, and we'll make that available for you. The other thing is we will set up your autopilot ethical propaganda and retargeting system. So do you know how I said it's not complicated, what I explained? It's not. But if you went to an agency, they're going to charge you $3,000 a month. They're not even going to have a clue what I just explained. One question I would ask you to ask any agencies you work with is like, do you do any like propaganda, like good content retargeting? And they'll be like, yeah, we could do that for you. But one question, if you're working with them right now, is, well, why aren't you already doing it? Right? It's a good question, because it takes a little bit of work. Like, you got to have the content, you got to put it in there. Now, once you have the system set up, guess what? It'll work for you for like 24/7, 365 forever. And one little tip I did give, I think to Robert, did I give it to you? I think at lunch, where I said, like, now, like, you got the webinar, you got the workshop, you got the interview, and now you could take StreamYard, which allows you to stream straight to your Facebook page, answer questions, and to YouTube, Facebook, and whatever. And now you take, because it'll live up on your Facebook page. Like, so if I do a live stream, it'll live there. And now you go to like your Facebook, and we can help you with it. It's so simple once you get it set up. And now you just put $3 behind it, $5 behind it, and it just starts. Now you make sure everybody in your ecosystem sees it. Like, that's the difference between being invisible, you know? This was my interview with Scott and I do a lot of content now together, because guess what? It works. It just works. This is actually two or three, because I added this onto that. Okay, so this is 2. Automated one-to-many trust authority and sales funnel. So this is going to be added as like a webinar. And I got to get a visual of this. Did you see that funnel that had all the surveys? Like when I surveyed like for credit and ailments, we will install that into the CRM that we give you when you're a member. You get all your leads, all that thing, all of that stuff. So you get all the proven follow-ups, text, email, voice broadcasts. Number 3, 50K in 10 minutes. So Scott developed a system for reactivating and rebumping patients back in the door. If you guys minimally take 10 minutes, watch the video, send out the promotions to your existing patients, inactives, and leads that you've done in the past, it's going to bring in 50K. It'll pay for everything. The reason I frame it this way is you're all smart. You've been watching us all day long, right? Because we want you to actually look at the whole investment into Regen Profits, the boardroom, mastermind, as actually a free, you get paid to be a part of it, mastermind. So we're thinking of all the ways to get your cash flow back in your thing, in your wallet right away. High-ticket patient conversion system, you've already seen it with Scott, but Scott actually having so many years with everything from your front desk, in office, you have a problem, we know how to fix it. everything from pitching at the workshop all the way into the office, okay? 12-month calendar, I told you about that already, so you're gonna also get the swipes for that as well. Are we doing the Mastermind Weekly calls?
Yeah, Tuesdays at 9:30 a.m.
Okay,
yeah,
so Tuesdays,
Eastern.
9:30 a.m., you'd want a hard time, stick it on your calendar, and that would be 2 weeks ago, I did a version of some of the ethical propaganda. This past Tuesday, it was Dr. Scott, and our goal is not only to just make sure that you have this mastered, but to bring in what's working in other offices as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of it is kind of like we did after lunch, and just kind of got you to write down your challenges and things you're going through. That's what we do. We want you to bring those to us. And so whatever roadblocks you're hitting, like in the last week and what you did, we're going to solve those on that call so you can keep moving forward. Just eliminate the roadblocks.
Yeah, eliminate the roadblocks. Like, one of the things I said to Scott was, because people were like reaching out one night at a time, and I think it's great. Like, we love you guys. We want people coming and getting their input. But I said the mistake we're making by just jumping on a call with somebody, which I do love that Maggie jumped on a call with you, Brian, on a Saturday, is the problem is, and that was a technical thing, but like if it's a question about in the office, no one else is benefiting from the answer, where the collective is so much greater than doing it one by one, not having a tribe, okay?
And for docs who are too busy, we just have you send the questions in early. We'll answer it on the call and send you the video.
Yeah, 100%.
So you'll always get your questions answered.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what to do now? So Maggie, where is the code? I mean, you guys, where's the code inside are you videoing this right now?
I am videoing.
Okay, so we have, okay, you can go to, we have you're gonna have to turn it off, girl, and just give me, where's the QR code inside their manual?
Yes, it is tab 2, I believe.
Tab 2.
The second page of that. I'm almost up.
Okay, so because we're gonna answer questions here in a second, and before we take a break.
Yep. Page 12.
Page 12.
It'll show it down at the bottom.
Okay, right here, guys. So, right here, if this is something you want to do, I'll go over the money part in a second, right? Like I said, it's already free because you're going to get money back inside of it right away. You just got to go first. That's kind of like the pitch on that. But right here is the QR code. The investment into the club, I'll break down a few different prices. The investment into the club, I mean, if I want to do price comparisons, if you were going to go build out a full system like this, first off, you could do it on your own, try and do it on your own. You're going to spend millions of dollars, and you're probably going to win in a massive way, okay? Or you could just spend $2,000 a month, get instant access to Scot's entire collective of things. $2,000 a month is, I mean, seriously think about this. We've already done the math about 20 times today, but one patient brings me, if it's $8,500, what do we agree? $4,200 was the profit to the practice, right? So let's just, and my pitch to you earlier was that this was my encouragement to you as to how you cannot fail at this, is that $4,200 pays for all the marketing, all the food. Now it's a little short of adding to another $2,000. So you need a patient and a half in a month to make this become a non-negotiable, like this is not a non-issue. The investment should never stop you from doing this, okay? What am I missing on the money? I want to answer some more questions here because these are the other ones. Oh, are we an agency? No, we are not an agency. We do have growth partner opportunities, meaning if you want Scott's dad to run all your ads, I think it's another $2,000 a month where he acts as your Facebook ad buyer.
And he's run ads for hundreds of offices.
Yeah,
And he got $3 leads.
$3 leads, pretty
I gotta give him
incredible.
a pat on the back.
It's pretty amazing, right? If you're gonna go out and find your own agency, if they charge you anything less than $2,000, they're awful, okay? The only reason we can give that price is because it's also part of like our membership. We're only doing it for our members. And so, so that's very important to understand. Is this territory exclusive? Great question. I'm asking and bringing it up. The answer is yes and no. So yes, in the sense that you can pick 2 clinics or offices that you want to blacklist. And what I mean by that is you can say to me and Scott, like, I consider them direct competitors to me, and I don't want them to be in the club. Well, then you get to put them on the list. But here's the reality. And you might not believe me on this, but I promise you this is the truth, is that if there's more people in your area, the reason why we're not just like blocking off Scottsdale or whatever, it'd be silly, because the fact is Dr. Barchek's gonna attract people that get down with his vibe, they like him, and they do that. Dr. Giulietta is going to attract a different audience in that same area. So for us to just say like, oh, we're not allowed to sell to any chiros, any functional medicine, anybody, is just foolish on all ends. Number two is, years ago, I ran a dental implant territory exclusive, but in Chicago, I could have one in Naperville, one in another suburb. If they ran with the Sun-Times would run them in the general paper. So I had two of the same ads in the same paper. They were both pissed until they both had double the amount of leads that month, and they had record months. And the reason is because if we increase awareness in an area of what's possible, you're only gonna get an overflow, and if you're doing everything else we're helping you with, you are gonna dominate your area, yes.
Why do you think there's always a McDonald's in front of the Burger King?
That's right.
Right next to the Walgreens?
That's right. Yeah, it's because, that's right. I'll just,
That's where they're gonna, that's how they pick their
That's how they do it.
demographics. Where are all the other restaurants? We're gonna go there.
can I cancel at any time? As of right now, Scott has not put any like minimum 1 year, minimum 6 months. The only fair thing on that though is if you're gonna cancel, you gotta quit using his materials. And that's the fair thing on that. Are we gonna send out lawyers to your houses and track you down like, no. The bounty hunter? No, we're not gonna do that. But you wouldn't be here and we wouldn't, if we wouldn't be offering you that opportunity if we felt that was an issue, okay? So now I have one gift and then I'm gonna open up for questions or we can open for a break, is the interview. Full thing that we do. I charge $15,000 for that. That is a gift. If you become as of right now, that's a gift. We keep going back and forth on that.
Not for long.
What's that?
Not for long.
Not for long. So, so what happens is, if you wanted to fly into Chicago where I live, we have dates coming up where we'll take 2 or 3 of you in a day, do the recordings, do a little mini mastermind for 4 hours or 6 hours, grab dinner, grab lunch, something like that. We could do it at the country club that I have in Chicago. Or I told Scott, almost any Thursday, if we, Maggie has the dates, it's so easy for me to fly down here from Chicago. I could be here by 9:30. We can come to this hotel, bang it out, and create momentum, get your assets, okay? Is there anything I'm missing? Anything you want them to know?
No, I don't think so. At the beginning, we ask you to stay on, what is it, like 60, 90 days?
We have three, you gotta give something 3 months.
It's this.
You just gotta,
It's just this right here. Like, again, we just want serious people, and someone who comes in and like tries it for a month, probably not gonna do anything good for you. But yeah, just stick on for, I think it's 60 days or 90 days. I forget
Yeah,
what we
well,
said
no,
on
we're
that.
asking you to just, commit 3 months, not for us, for you. I mean, honestly, the reason why we decided to do the interview as a gift is because we're like, you know what, if they have more tools in their arsenal, they're not gonna leave us because they're gonna be winning. Like that is our investment in you. I mean, Scott does not get rich with $2,000 a month memberships. Like that's not the thing. We wanna build the thing that is so unique and different in chiro and functional medicine and podiatrists when these guys come in stem cells, that in 6 months, they're like, hey, have you gone to Dr. Scott? We want, like my vision for Scott is he's the guy that is transforming people's lives through this. And so we'd love for you to be a part of it. So we're good? We're good.
Yeah.
So if you're in, it's 4:34 now. You got to make a decision in about 40 seconds or else all offers are, no, I'm kidding. I'm totally joking. The interview's off table. It's now $5,000. No, I'm kidding. If you decide that you want to be in, just any questions you want to ask any of us, great. We'd love to have you, okay?